Okay, Henrik, I'm going to make you the presenter. Here we go. So I turn over the controls to you, Henrik. Give me a hello when you...
Hey there.
Hey, Henrik, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, have you used GoToMeeting before so you know how to screen share?
Yeah, I've done it sometime, but I'm struggling here.
Okay, there's your chart. So everybody, welcome Henrik Siverhall, harmonic trader, Sweden, and his Twitter handle is Henrik_HTSE. Is that correct, my friend?
That's correct, yes. And actually, just these days, we are announcing that I'm going for Europe, so it will change for EU in a couple of days. Yeah.
Okay, so very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Thank you.
I don't believe I've interviewed you before, have I?
No, never. But you must have interviewed my partner Scott Carney a couple of times.
Yes, yeah. Scott's a huge harmonic guy. I think I interviewed Scott a couple of times. So, Henrik, very nice to meet you. I'd like to start at the beginning because everyone has a beginning. Why don't you tell us about how you got involved in the industry, who were your influences, and how you ended up gravitating towards harmonics as a way to skin the cat in the market?
Yeah, of course. It actually began when I was 15. That's like 25 years ago, something. I started with stocks and was involved with the Swedish organization. I don't know if you heard about. It's called Aktiespararna, Stock Savers in English.
Huh. Okay.
And I've been ever since. So it not really trading, but investing and looking at the Swedish market and in the indexes.
Okay.
And the last couple of years, I think it's 4-5 years now, I've been trading the F.A.C.E mostly.
Okay.
And it all began with, like most of us, it began with blowing an account, not knowing what I was doing. And then I took a course.
You mean over leveraging yourself?
Exactly. And didn't really have a plan. I didn't know how to risk management, nothing really, in the correct manner with F.A.C.E and all the leveraging and all that.
You were probably trading with 200 to 1 leverage, right?
Yeah, it was actually more.
Okay.
that's history.
All right. All right. So
I took a course with a educator that I'm not gonna bring out here. That's for Scott to go on. They were okay. They taught me the basics quite good. I'm not gonna blame them for that, but they were using harmonics as kind of the advanced technical analysis.
Okay.
But as they taught me that, and I was looking at it, I was quite early starting to questioning how they were doing it. They were kind of using a set and forget approach. They saw a pattern, put in a limit order, and just waited. And I was asking, isn't there any way to confirm the trade and get the trigger, or any more edge in the and kind of filter away all the bad patterns? And they just waved their hand and said, that's not us. That's not how we do it. And that's when I was starting to look further and actually reach out for Scott. And that's, I think it's 2 or 3 years now ago. And he answered quite fast and brought me on and started to teach me and gave me the tools to start identify patterns in a better way.
Okay. So
yeah.
you had to go through a learning curve. How many years during that journey would you say it took you to finally have confidence and become more consistent and really consider yourself a professional? How many years?
I would say at least 3 years. I'm not calling myself a pro yet. There's those that has been doing this for far more years than me, but a couple of 2-3 years before I had my plan in place, before I had the consistent profits going on, and learning to take the downside as well, learning to see that it can go a month with no profits, and you just have to manage it and be consistent with your risk management and technique.
What is your way of dealing with the fact that there may not be setups? You know, to me, I'm a big believer in what Tom Petty said: the waiting is the hardest part. And
Yeah.
Less is more. More isn't more. Less is more. And also overcome the fear of missing out and think that you have to be in the market all the time. So that psychology is, I think, pervasive in the industry. People looking at, well, I'm afraid of missing something. How do you overcome that?
Well, it's hard actually, and I must admit that sometimes I fall in the pit nowadays as well. But,
yeah. So once in a while you still impulse trade.
Yeah, I do. That's nothing I can admit that that's something human to do, I guess.
It is.
But one way to overcome it is to, as I'm doing, I'm teaching new traders, and what I'm focusing most on is risk management and the psychology part. And by doing that, I get a feeling for it myself. I remind myself each day and each week about how to think, and it's always consistently with me as I'm talking to my students.
That's a pearl. So that's a pearl, because I agree with you. When you're teaching, when you're mentoring, it's also self-talk. You're reminding yourself as you teach others. You don't want to be the type of person that do what I say, not what I do. Do what I say because I do it too. Okay, so that's why I encourage people to share their work. It makes them more accountable. Educating people, teaching people, helping people makes you more accountable, because you're just reinforcing your paradigm.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's a great lesson right there. Is teachers become better traders by teaching. So we're looking at some Aussie CAD things, Aussie CAD charts here. Can you tell us what you seeing here?
This was something I just brought up today. I'm not actually every day trading at these time frames at 30 minutes and so on. I often go for 60 minutes at least, or 24 hours in daily. But this was one that I brought up, and with this new platform that we have for Ninja Trader, we can easily scan the markets for patterns and get alarms where we have signals and the T-bar in place. And this one came up just before this session, and I was looking at it, and this is actually a type 2 trade. I don't know if you're familiar with the type 1 and type 2 trades with harmonics.
Define that.
Type 1 is the first reaction on the pattern. You get a T-bar, the terminal bar, where the pattern has tested all the levels that is defined for the pattern, and then you get a first reaction that is often a quick reaction, and almost never that deep or high if it's
so do you trade off of that, or you wait for your T2?
No, I trade for T1, but I'm more aggressive on the management. I trail the stop more aggressively. I draw a trend line. I can just quickly show you here how easily I manage to trade.
So this is a bearish harmonic pattern that you're getting up here. What's the time frame? It's kind of a 30-minute.
Yeah, it's a 30 minute.
So your T1 was prior to this recent high. So you had a completing there at T1 what's the name of this formation? I know there are all kinds of different names.
This is a deep crab pattern.
Okay.
And it's quite extended, but we're looking at this type 2 trade now, and
Okay.
I can't see really a situation where I would take this trade right now, because if you're looking at HSI, the indicator that we use for harmonics, it's already crossing down below 50 and not showing anything that would
Okay,
say.
are those, that indicator that you just mentioned, are they underneath the chart? I see two different
Exactly.
indicators.
HSI there. HSI is the top one here, and that is
Okay.
it's based on RSI, but it's I don't know the techniques behind it, but it's Scott and Keegan McClellan that has developed this one, and it's more responsive to harmonic patterns and ratios.
Okay, and do you use these measurements for patterns diverging? That gives you more confidence if, say, for example, like right now we're making new highs, and your bottom indicator, it looks like it's making the same or a shade lower, and your upper indicator looks like it's making about the same. It didn't make new highs. It didn't confirm the move to new highs. Is that the way you use it?
Yeah, exactly. Divergence is a big part of our analysis as well, and we also use something that Scott developed, the RSI BAM theory, where you get a divergence.
You know, thought just came to mind. Looking at harmonics, is in a way seems to me, and you could, you know, refute it, that harmonic patterns are all looking for a turn. They're reversal formations. Are there any continuation formations in harmonics? Or
Yeah,
all just, go ahead.
No, we were looking both for reactions and reversal, but you can use them as a trend trading entry technique as well. I use it almost every time because trend is your friend, as they all say, because I look at the higher time frame and make sure I'm in a trend in the right direction of the pattern. So in that way, I use it as a trend following technique.
Okay, so say for example, this would be a more powerful signal if Aussie CAD was trending down. Otherwise, if Aussie CAD is trending up, you're looking at it as a reversal formation. But you, looking at through your telescope, will look for continuation harmonics. Am I?
Yeah, exactly. If I have the trend in my favor, I will look for more extended targets as well. If we, with this one where we have a short type 1 test that it doesn't even reach the target 1, and a type 2 that doesn't look too good on the indicators, I'm looking for short reactions and trying to pick a couple of pips every time.
Okay. So we're looking at a live trade now that the deep crab. I find all of these labels for harmonics. At first, I used to find them amusing. You know, the only crabs I know happened to me in college. Anyway, that's a completely different subject.
Try translating them to Swedish, and you'll see it's even more funny.
Looks like FX Honor got that one. So Aussie CAD, do you have a view on what's happening here in cable and euro with the dollar being under pressure here, or any other instrument? Any other instrument that you brought here for us to take a look at, maybe a little bit more on a macro? And it looks like your Aussie CAD trade is reversing here, and you're going to get
I think there might be a reaction down there, but I wouldn't take this trade though for that reason that HSI is already. My for one trigger is that HSI should be up and be in the extreme, or at least touch the extreme and show a sharp down point
Okay.
down.
Do you ever get, like, I would look at this pattern and say that we have two drives. You know, one of the techniques I use are looking for 3 drive patterns, and right now it looks like we have 2. So is there a harmonic pattern? Would this pattern be alive if we pulled back here and then made one more high and then did not confirm with your 2 lower indicators?
Yeah, I believe that could be so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not that familiar with the 3 drive actually, so.
Okay.
But
number 3 is harmonic, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's also a number of completion. So, okay, that's a great example, and it's, working live before our eyes.
Yeah.
What else were you interested?
I was watching the cable as Blake talked away. And as he said, we do have some resistance up here where it is now, and we should be cautious with it. Not at least with the French election coming up. But
you have a deep crab that could trade over the 130 handle.
Yeah, exactly. I've been looking at this for some days, for a couple of days now, and I'm looking at this deep crab to be completed. I think it will reach there if we don't get a too bearish reaction from the election. But the harmonics will complete up there, I think.
Okay. All right,
and
that's
then
an
I'm looking
interesting
to go
view.
short.
So let me ask you this, because you've just showed 2 crab formations, and I noticed this many times in the markets that like wedges, you'll see wedges everywhere, rising wedges, falling wedges. Do you notice that in harmonics that you'll start seeing a lot of crabs or a lot of Gartleys appearing in different instruments at the same time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm mostly looking at the FX, of course, but there's often the pairs, Euro pairs often form the same kind of patterns. Of course, you see a lot of crabs right now forming.
That's interesting. So so it's kind of like all one market. A theme can repeat itself in separate instruments.
Yeah.
So harmonics can do the same and across varied instruments around the same time.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay, so that's a nice view. At 130, let me ask you this. If the deep crab is completed up at your levels, could that turn out to be a shorting opportunity because it's complete up there?
Yeah, I would look to short it up there, mainly because it's already quite extended. And if it really if it does a sharp downturn now and get up there within a couple of weeks, I'm really looking to short it up there. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's everything about the indicators, looking at the HSI and RSI, showing me what I want them to show.
We have extremes. Your stuff does look like the RSI. It's almost like we're confirming these new highs. So it doesn't matter if do you look for the divergence before on your indicators underneath to take a counter trend position, or it doesn't matter?
I could do that. I'm trading sometimes for the BAM theory. I'm taking Scott has a theory of the patterns when they actually exceed the B point. They get a kind of a magnet situation, drawing them up to the harmonic levels of the pattern, and often that is occurred with the BAT. That's the most favorable pattern for it. That's why it's called BAM.
For markets in acceleration phases to complete these harmonic patterns, is 1.618 the fib extension kind of the maximum that they can go, or can they go to 61.8 if it turns into a runaway? or is 161.8 kind of a common completion fib extension?
It's a common completion, yeah, but it could extend, and on this extended patterns often get some overspill above the PRC, the zone that it's the permissible execution zone when the T-bar is formed. This is the optimal situation up here for the pattern to complete.
Okay. Okay, nice. That's a nice look. Did you bring anything else that you want to share?
I thought I'd bring up, this is actually something from Scott, so I'm not going to try to steal this from him. He brought up the SP500 in his March Harmonic Trader report just a couple of weeks ago. And I can show it here. He brought up that we had a ABCD pattern forming, but that it was quite early. We had to watch out for the HSI and RSI to see what it's showing. He did show that it was in a downtrend. Yeah, exactly. So I thought I'd just bring it up and show you what happened since then.
Okay.
It actually
it's on the right hand of the screen.
AB equals CD, but it was an extended one.
You gotta move it over a little bit more, Henrik. It's not showing up in the box. The second one of the S&P.
Okay. You don't
Just bring it over a little bit.
There?
No.
Better?
Oh, okay. So the one with the black line is the one you want to show? Or there's another one? Can you hear me? I think that maybe we're having some technical issues here.
No.
All right, you're breaking up on me a little bit. So I see the chart that you showed. It looks like, you know, an ABC, and then you have a black line. And then on the right-hand side of your screen, there's another S&P chart that we can only see half of.
Yeah. Hello?
No, it's still there, stuck there. And you're starting to break up a little bit. Henrik, can you hear me?
Okay, do you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up. I don't know what it is. Maybe the bandwidth or something is, you're breaking up a little bit. You were going to bring up the daily S&P. We just see the initial one that you put on. We haven't seen the results of that pattern. Can you hear me? Henrik, I'm going to just thank you for what you showed us so far. We're having technical difficulties now.
He seems to be muted, maybe by mistake.
Yeah, that may have happened, but
no, he's
you know, we got
unmuted
some.
now.
Okay, are you there, Henrik? Okay. Everyone thank Henrik for being here and giving it a go, and he showed us some nice looks. Pound could get up towards 130. The Aussie, I believe it was Aussie CAD earlier, Aussie CAD, a nice harmonic pattern. And then, you know, S&Ps are, you know, Henrik's not the only one that's had trouble with S&Ps, okay? I've had trouble with S&Ps too, like being bearish too often. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. And you could follow Henrik at Henrik, HENRIK _ HTSE. And I want to thank everyone for their contributions today. On Friday, perhaps we'll get some more screenshots and take a look at the week ahead. Let me just take a quick look at show my screen. Okay, so the euro so far has not been able to make a new high. If it can do it tomorrow, remember, also under 740 is going to be your first inkling. Okay, take it easy, Jack, that the euro is going to start heading down again back under 740. Otherwise, now, if we make a move up towards 780 or so, we're going to have a non-confirmation in my view. Okay? And again, I still think that there's a shot for the Dixie to make one more low. We'll see maybe around 99.30, and pound is going pound's going Blake's way. Everyone enjoyed today's session. Give me a Y if you love F.A.C.E. Here's my Y. I love F.A.C.E. So I'm gonna call it a day, and we'll TGIF tomorrow, everybody. Good hunting the rest of the day. Don't, yeah, okay. Thank you, Amir. Thank you, David. A lot of excellent content, very good team. Yes, yes, Ronit. You're welcome, my trading warrior brothers and sisters. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I count working with Blake and the team and all of you a blessing in my life. I hope you feel the same way. You're welcome, Blake. Ben, take it easy. Arianto, nice Euro-Yen trade partner. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Adios.